Hello, everybody.
1 second. Live is just
Yeah,
just
it's
1 minute.
streaming.
1 minute.
It says it's streaming on YouTube.
Okay, it just started. Master ready?
Hello, everybody.
1 second. Live is just
Yeah,
just
it's
1
streaming.
minute. 1 minute.
It says it's streaming. Hello, everyone. So today we are here to talk about EFT. My name is Vasuda Arora. I am an EFT practitioner. EFT stands for Emotional Freedom Technique, and it is also called tapping. So, broadly, how today we'll go about it is I'll take you through some very basic theory, and then we'll actually do the practical session, and I will demonstrate how it is done. And then at the end, the platform will be open for any questions that you may have, and we can discuss. So, what is EFT? You can show the next slide, Rimple. It's also called the tapping technique, in which what we use basically is it's like a combination of acupuncture and conventional therapy, So in acupuncture, as some of you may know, we have different points on our body, and we put needles on that. And in acupressure, we put pressure on those points, or we tap those points. So taking from that acupuncture, the Chinese energy meridian system therapy, and combining it with psychology, the psychology principles, and the what the principles we use in psychotherapy and psychology, the conventional talk therapy as we do, where we are talking about the issue that we have, the emotions that we have, the incidents that we are affected by, some memories that haunt us. So we are in the EFT technique. We are going to tap on different points in our body, on our face, or I'll take you through the points. And we are also saying certain statements in a particular way that is supposed to then what happens is, like, for example, there is this memory or an incident or an emotion that's troubling us. And then there are many emotions that come up, like anger, guilt, fear, shame, blame, regret, whatever emotion. Between the incident and memory and the emotions, what happens is the energy system gets disrupted. Our bodily, at a bodily level and at the energy level, there's an energy disruption. So Gary Craig, who is the founder of EFT, he said that the main thing is to realize that there's a disruption in the energy system, and through EFT, through tapping, we are balancing that disruption. So we don't have to, he said that, so much time, so much money is going to be saved if we realize this, and that it is not otherwise. In psychotherapy, what I'm a therapist myself, so we are taught that, okay, trauma has to be dealt with differently, grief has to be dealt with differently, anger management is a little different, phobia and fears are handled differently, severe mental illness conditions or severe chronic pain or physical illnesses are to be treated differently. But here, if we realize that the energy system is disrupted, through tapping, we are balancing the energy system. So whatever may be the impact of that energy disruption, automatically then gets taken care of. So yeah, we can go through this chart that Rimple has helped me put up. So how it works is like we are habitually thinking about a physical or an emotional problem. And then there is, because of this energy disruption, our self-healing capacities of our bodies gets also hampered and disrupted. Then it stimulates the fight or flight part of my brain. Then tapping my fingers on acupuncture points, it calms my brain. It releases the energetic blockages. And then, therefore, it gives us the emotional freedom to acknowledge our feelings. What we feel, if we acknowledge it, we don't have to suppress it, we don't have to hide it, we don't have to put it under the carpet, we don't have to pretend everything is okay, we don't have to say, okay, I don't have time and let's move on, oh, it doesn't affect me. If we don't do any of that, this technique helps us. While we are tapping on the different points, we talk about what is upsetting us, what is happening, and then we acknowledge that emotion, we feel that emotion, and then we let it go. So this is what I was talking earlier. Gary Craig has said that all negative emotions is a disruption in the body's energy system. So when we tap, we take care of this energy. And like I said earlier, there are the physical benefits of acupuncture combined with conventional therapy is what EFT is all about. It does not use needles like acupuncture. And so step one is to mentally tune into specific issues that we are addressing and with ourselves or with the client. And we stimulate certain meridian points on body by tapping with our fingertips. Yeah, so I have covered this already. And so this can be done anywhere. The great thing is, so today the point is that in 1 hour presentation, obviously I'm not able to teach you the entirety and the depth of EFT. But the idea of this today's meeting and today's presentation was so that you get curious about EFT, you know the basics, and you can start from today itself using this for your own self-care. So self-help, self-care, you can start using it. You'll know the points and how to, what to say, what is the setup statement, how to go about it. So that every day, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, you can sit with everything that's happening in your mind, in your body, in your heart, in your life. Whatever is bothering you, whatever is bogging you down, you can sit with it and tap. And that is a great beginning. And when you see results and when you see how it's shifting and changing things for you, then you can, at the end, I have given 2 very amazing websites where you can go and then you can explore EFT as much in depth as you would like to. Even on YouTube, there are so many, resources, so you can do that. So yeah, we'll go through this, some of the benefits, some of the many benefits. I would say, EFT, there's nothing I feel EFT cannot address or release or handle. So, but these are some of these things which I'll go through. It clears our limiting beliefs, and we all know that we all have certain limiting beliefs that we form as a child. Something happened, some incident happened, big or small, traumatic or dramatic, or seemingly not so traumatic, but for us as a 2-year-old, as a 4-year-old, as an 8-year-old, it meant something to us. So we give, based on those events, we give meaning to that and we form a limiting belief. Men are like this, life is like this, rich people are like this, I can't do this, I'm not good enough. Like that, we form certain limiting beliefs. So this helps us release those limiting beliefs by revisiting in a non-invasive manner. We revisit that event or that memory and we talk about it with a therapist. We tap while we talk about it, and then that whole thing is resolved in a way that the memory will remain, but the emotional charge with the memory goes away. Therefore, the limiting belief and the power that limiting belief has on every aspect of our life goes away. So, for example, अगर हमारा एक limiting belief था कि I am not good enough, and maybe there were 5-6 incidents that happened जिन्होंने मुझे बार बार बताया कि हाँ देखा, hence concluded I am not good enough. See, again this happened, hence concluded I am not good enough. तो हम उन मेमोरीज से जब इमोशनल चार्ज हटा देंगे और उन मेमोरीज के साथ इन डिटेल हम टैप करेंगे, टॉक करेंगे, तो वो मेमोरी वही रह जाएगी, इमोशनल चार्ज हट जाएगा, हमारा एनर्जी सिस्टम जो डिस्टर्ब हुआ था वो बैलेंस हो जाएगा. तो फिर हम अगली बार कोई भी ऐसा सिमिलर इंसिडेंट हमारी लाइफ में होगा तो हम ये नहीं कंक्लूड करेंगे कि आई एम नॉट गुड इनफ. वी विल सी थिंग्स एज दे आर. वी विल नॉट operate from our limiting belief. Rimple, could I request you to show that benefits wala thing? I'll go through that thing again. So then, so similarly, the childhood trauma, similar to limiting beliefs, there are traumatic incidents that we handle. Healing inner child, again, there are so many parts of us as children जो हम छुपा के रख देते हैं, क्योंकि हमें वो एक कोई चीज करने से, एक किसी बिहेवियर से, एक हमारे एक टेंडेंसी या पैटर्न से हमारे माँ बाप या टीचर्स ने या फ्रेंड्स ने या कुछ भी हमारे साथ इतना बुरा हुआ या हमारा दिल दुखा या हमें बहुत ज्यादा डर लग गया या दिल में डर बैठ गया, तो उसकी वजह से हमारे वो एक इनर चाइल्ड जिसको हम कहते हैं वो बन जाते हैं, जिनको हम छुपा के रखते हैं, किसी को बताते नहीं. तो वो हमारा फिर हम हील कर सकते हैं EFT यूज करके. Then performance at work. So children use it, for if you are being bullied or you can't remember or you hate some subject or you are having trouble with a particular subject or a particular teacher, any problems in school or problems with boss, and you're not able to give your best or do your best. So all those, even in sports, so any kind of performance gets improved. Then diagnosed conditions like phobias, fears, anxiety, depression, and any other diagnosed conditions can be addressed and handled through EFT. Then any kind of sexual trauma, sexual abuse, sexual anxiety, sexual dysfunction can be addressed. Then reducing or clearing physical pain. So chronic pain, migraine, digestion issues, knee pain, back pain, or any other kind of illness like even diabetes, asthma, breathlessness can be addressed. Then if you do it every day, even as a self-help tool, I would say that it will boost your immunity and it will lead to a stronger immunity system. Better sleep. If you can't sleep and if you just tap for 10 minutes, even if you don't talk and you just tap for 10 minutes, over time, if you do it before sleeping, you will get better sleep, more sound sleep. People who have nightmares, bedwetting have shown improvement, and you get up feeling more energized and refreshed. And of course, it improves relationships, because when we are not reacting, we are at a calmer place, we are happy being who we are, and we are comfortable in our own skin, and we are generally a happier, healthier person. Automatically, the way we relate to people, way we engage with people, the way we react to people, way we react to situations automatically changes, and then we are able to communicate better, we are more present, we are more equipped to deal with what the person in front of us is offering us. So these are some of the many benefits that EFT has. So now, would you like to break for any questions that you have, or should we just dive into the demonstration? What do you suggest?
I
Should
think
I
start practically so
will
they can
practically?
understand
Okay,
and demonstrate.
great. So how we start is, this is called the side of the palm. It's called the karate chop, because in karate, this is the side of the palm that people use. So it's also called karate chop, and it's, you can say, side of the palm. And we can gently tap it, or we can gently rub it. It's up to us. Doesn't matter. And which hand you do also does not matter. You can keep shifting also. If you get bored doing on the same, you can just change. So that doesn't matter. It just matters that we are tapping on the side of the palm or the karate chop. And we always begin an EFT round. We begin with the karate chop. Then we are going to go to the next point, which is inside the eye, which is, where your inner eye के ऊपर यहाँ पे जो एक हड्डी है, ये जो bone है हमारी, उस पे हम gently we take 2 fingers. We can take 2 fingers of both the hands, or we can just take one hand. That is also, it doesn't matter. Some like to do it with both the hands. Some like to do it with one hand. The efficacy of the EFT does not matter. So for the first round, let me show you, like we'll do it inner. So this is called the inner eye point. Then this is side of the eye point. So gently on the side of the eye again, we can tap. And then it is under the eye point. So under the eye, where there is, there's this bone, gently on that bone, we are going to tap on the point that's under the eye. Then upper lip. So upper lip, there's a bone, and we're going to tap on that. This is the upper lip point. Then we're going to tap on the chin point. Here, there is this bone. So we're going to tap on that bone. So these points are which are going to balance the energy meridians in our body. So we tap here, and then we tap on, like, this is the collarbone, under the collarbone. So under both the collarbones, so under the collarbone you can tap. And there's another alternative, especially with children. If they're throwing tantrums, if they're having a meltdown, they're really angry, or they're crying a lot. And even when we are, we cannot, sometimes situations happen when we just cry and howl uncontrollably. At that time, even if you just tap like this, or ek muthi bana ke you tap like this, or you tap like this, immediately you'll see that your meltdown, that shock, that huge breakdown that you're having, you will calm down, your brain will calm down, your nervous system will calm down, your body will calm down immediately. So you can just do this, or tap under the collar points, or do this. All three are okay. And then we go to the under the arm point, which is basically roughly 3 fingers under the underarm, where our brass tap kind of begins. That's the point. And for men, it's like across the nipple, the point across the nipple. So under the underarm, three fingers under the underarm is the underarm point. And then we come back to our karate chop. Once we come back to the karate chop, we say the statement again. And then we end with, we put both our hands on our heart. And we take 3 deep breaths, as deep as we can. And when we take deep breaths, inhale through your nose and exhale through your mouth. Inhale through your nose and exhale through your mouth, and see if you can comfortably make your exhalation a little longer than your inhalation. And once you deep breathe 3 times, have a sip of water. So that completes 1 round of EFT, and I'm going to show it now. If you have water with you, or if you can get water, it'll be amazing. So keep water with you every time you do EFT with yourself or with somebody else. So you can remove this, and I will just demonstrate, and then we can come back to the thing. Thank you. Thank you so much, Rimple, for helping me with all this. So we'll start with the thing. Let's get ready. For easiest, for you to feel, I will come to anger. I have given the example of anger in the slide. I will come to anger. But before that, just think of, just so that you know how fast and how it works and how fast sometimes it can work. What I would say is, tune into your body and think of any kind of discomfort that you may have. It could be a slight itching in your eye, or a slight headache, or a leg pain, or a knee pain, or some kind of sensation in your chest. Your stomach's a little bloated, there is gas in your stomach, or you're feeling constipated, or you're feeling just tired. Any physical condition, can everybody just give me like a thumbs up and see that you have thought of, you have something to work with? And now on a scale of 0 to 10, where 0 means there is no symptom at all whatsoever, and 10 means it is unbearable and it's too much, rate your physical discomfort or physical pain or physical condition that you are going to address in this round. Just give a number to it. And if you can, in the chat, you can tell me, so that I have some idea, and you also then see the shift, if at all. How much is it, Yeah, great. So like Riya is saying, it's 6 out of 10, 7 out of 10. Okay. So like that, you can just rate and keep a note, write it down. Even if you don't know how to write in the chat, you can make a note, mental note or a physical note, and see where the number is at. And now we start tapping, and we're going to just go with that. So even though, while I say, you repeat it after me, even though I have this, and then you can fill in the blank. Like, for example, for me, I'm going to say, I'm trying to tune in now. Which part should I? Okay, so I have this slight tightness in my back, stiffness in my back right now, and I would rate it 4 out of 10. Okay, so I'm going to say stiffness in the back. You can say whatever you have going on and whatever you have decided to address. Is it clear? Okay, so even though I have this stiffness in my back and it is at 4 out of 10, I still completely and deeply love and accept myself. Am I too fast? Are you able to say it after me? Even though I have this slight stiffness in my back, I completely and deeply love and accept myself. And one last time, even though I have this slight stiffness in my back, I still deeply and completely love and accept myself. So this is like 3 times we'll say the setup statement. This is called the setup statement. And now we come to the different points. So this stiffness in my back, you will say this headache or this palpitation or this knee pain or this elbow pain, whatever it is for you, this stiffness in my back. Gently, and then we move to the side of the eye, this stiffness in my back. Then you come under the eye, this stiffness in my back. Then upper lip, this stiffness in my back. Then on the chin, this stiffness in my back. Then under the collarbone, this stiffness in my back. Then under the arm, this stiffness in my back. And then come back on the karate chop. Even though I have this stiffness in my back, I still completely and deeply love and accept myself. Awesome. And now put both your hands together on your heart and take 3 deep breaths, as deep as you can, inhaling through your nose and exhaling through your mouth. And one last time. Awesome. And now have 2-3 sips of water. Water is very important because when the energies are balancing and the energy disruption is being balanced, energy is moving through our body, and also what we are talking, the emotions we are, they are coming up and then we are releasing them slowly. So the toxins are being released, and water is extremely important to help the body release those toxins from our body. So it's very important that we keep water, and we have water. And even after we've done EFT, through the day, we keep sipping more water or nimbu pani or some soup or some, soothing liquids. Awesome. So get a sense for yourself. Did anybody, where is the number at? Did it increase? Because for some people, the number can increase, the pain can increase, the discomfort can increase, and that's okay. Nothing to be worried about. For some people, it can decrease, and for some people, it remains just as it is. And all 3 are okay. We just did a very basic first time introductory round. So, but just if you can, in the chat, give me a sense of, did it increase for you? Is it the same or did it decrease for you? Okay. One person is saying it decreased. I will come to all these questions. Somebody's asking how many times can we do it in a day? I'll come to just make a note of these questions and we will, yeah, it makes us calm. It decreased. Okay. So let's do 2 more rounds with the same thing, and then let's see where we are. Okay. So even though I have this stiffness in my back, I still completely and deeply love and accept myself. Even though I have this stiffness in my back, I still completely and deeply love and accept myself. Even though I have this 4 on 10 stiffness in my back, I still completely and deeply love and accept myself. Now on the eye point, this stiffness in my back. And you fill in the blank, whatever it is for you. This stiffness in my back. This stiffness in my back under the eye. This stiffness in my back under the eye now. एकदम वो जो eyeballs के अंदर जो है ना point वहां पे. This stiffness in my back. Now upper lip. This stiffness in my back. Now on the chin point, this stiffness in my back. Now under the collarbone, the stiffness in my back. Now under the arm, this stiffness in my back. And instead of karate chop, we're going to continue. So we'll do another round, and now we will ask this stiffness in the back to go away. So it is safe to let go of this stiffness in my back. And you can say it is safe to let go of this headache or whatever it is for you. It is now safe to let go of this stiffness in my back. Under the eye, I allow the stiffness in my back to go now. On the upper lip, I allow the stiffness in my pain to go now. It is safe to let go of the stiffness in my back. Now under the collarbone, I'm willing to let the stiffness in my back go. I'm willing to let go of the stiffness in my back. Now under the arm, I allow the stiffness in my back to go now. And now come back to the karate chop. Even though I have this stiffness in my back, and it is now 2 on 10, I'm willing to let it go. And I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Awesome. Everybody did so great. Now put your hands together on the heart and take 3 deep calming breaths. You can even make noise जैसे आहा भरता है जैसे ना जैसे एकदम relief का sigh. Awesome. Great. You all did great. Now have a few sips of water. It'll be great if you can show your videos. It's nice to engage with people. I'm thankful to everybody who is keeping the videos on. It's nicer to engage with people because online anyway we don't meet in person. So at least on video, if we see, we're like, okay, I'm talking to not blank spaces, but people. So tell me, did anybody sense a difference? Did it increase for somebody? Is it the same? Is it going down? How was your experience? If you want, you can unmute and share, or you can chat. Okay. One person is saying it is better now. It is decreasing. So this is the basic thing, you know, so you can use it like today we right now used it for a physical symptom. You can use it for any emotion that you have, like anger, irritation, frustration, fear. Like, you know, I see one child, her Simrat, I think, is from the photo. I don't know if the adult is there or the child is there, but I can see. So even children, you can teach it. Your children at home, you can tell them these points, and as fun, you can sit with them and do it. You know, when my so if you know you are, I work with adolescents, and I say, okay, you're scared of maths. So you can just say, even though I'm scared of maths, I still love and accept myself completely and deeply. Or you can say, I hate maths. Some of us have very strong emotions about certain subjects or certain people. So even if we say, you know, so there's nothing right and wrong and moralistic when we are tapping. So suppose I hate my mother. right now I'm very irritated with my mother because she cancelled my video time, cancelled my party or whatever, and I'm very upset with her. So I can just sit and tag and say, even though I really hate my mother and she's horrible and I just don't like her, I still completely and deeply love and accept myself. The idea is to acknowledge and fully express without any censor whatever we are feeling. And when we do that, after a few rounds, are automatically, without anybody's lecture and saying, this is not the way you should talk about your mother, she does so much for you, look at her, this is her problem, all that, without all that, on your own, you will realize what your mother means to you, and your anger for your mother will go away, and your hatred will for your mother will go away. Sometimes it may take 1 hour, sometimes it may take half an hour, sometimes it takes 3-4 rounds, and then children start laughing. And sometimes it may take, like if it's your boss and your whole they humiliate you and they hurt, they speak in a very unkind manner, they publicly humiliate you, your salary, your whole thing is dependent on them, your appraisal, and there's office politics happening, and the frustration level is really high, and you are not in a position to leave the job, you're not in a position to confront the boss. You can sit with your frustration, and maybe in one day, you will do only 20 minutes, and next day you will do 20 minutes, and third day you'll do 20 minutes. Maybe by the fourth or the fifth day, when you sit with your frustration and say, even though I'm really frustrated at my job and I just don't know what to do, and you can say whatever. I told the very basic statement. We always start with even though, and we always end with I still completely and deeply love and accept myself. That's the way you end it. And how you start is even though. So we are saying basically, even though this is all I'm feeling, and you fill in whatever you're feeling, and you can talk as much, or some people hate talking when they're upset, or they just generally don't like talking. You can just say this frustration, pick up one emotion, and you can say, even though I'm really frustrated at my job, I really hate my job, I still completely and deeply love and accept myself. Or a person like me who loves talking and talks nonstop, you can talk and say, describe the situation, and you can say, even though I hate my job, I can't leave that job, and my boss is so horrible, and he's always so mean to me, and he humiliates me in front of everybody, and I can't even answer back. And then people don't take me seriously. It's such a horrible situation. I just don't know what to do. Whatever you want to say, you say, and then you say, I still completely and deeply love and accept myself. When we are saying I love and accept myself, not only am I loving and accepting myself in general, but I'm also saying, included in that is that even though I feel all this, even though I'm unable to cope with this, even though I feel emotions which I'm not ideally supposed to feel, I still love and accept myself. So we are giving ourselves that unconditional love and acceptance. That in itself is so powerful and healing. And yeah, so that is the main broad thing I wanted to share. And now I guess we can open it for questions. I will first address the question that somebody asked in the chat, how many times we can use it. We can use it as many times as you want. There is no, so these are two websites which are extremely amazingly detailed, like a wealth of information you will get on EFT on both these. Emo Free is by Gary Craig, who's the founder, and the tapping solution is by Nick Ortner and Jessica Ortner. They are brother and sister, and there are many videos and talks and podcasts. So it's like a wealth of information on these two websites you'll find. And then you can decide how much in depth you want to go. I would suggest that you start with your self-help, self-care routine. Take out 10 minutes every day, 20 minutes every day, depending on how much you are keen to. But I would say at least minimum 10 minutes every day if you take out and say, okay, 1 week I'm going to do this for 10 minutes every day on and take one issue or one emotion, then you will be able to actually sense the difference. That is my personal suggestion. Otherwise, you can go accordingly, according to what suits you. And yeah, so you can do it n number of times whenever you like. You know, when I learned it, I would go and I had a very sticky situation with the boss. This is like almost 20 years back when I was working in an office. And she would just throw the presentation and scream at me and say, what is this? And this is not okay. And I used to feel like crying, and I would go to the loo and just tap and come out and calm down and come out and then again work on my presentation and everything. And slowly it gave me the confidence to, you know, talk to her, confront her, and change the situation around with her. And when I left, it was a very good, cordial relationship we had. And now we are Facebook friends also. So, you know, it changes, things change amazingly with this. And with my son, I use it. He's 16 years old. And, you know, if he has some physical ailment or he's anxious about some situation, then I'll just say, okay, let's tap and talk and tap. And then within 2-3 rounds, he's smiling and laughing. He's saying, no, it's not that big a problem. And, you know, so I have seen that it's a very time, like it saves a lot of time, this technique, because otherwise, you know, if he tells me in detail his problem, then I give lecture in detail about my experiences and what I think he should do. It'll take probably 1.5 hours, 2 hours. And here we are in 10 minutes, we just tap, laugh, talk, and it's over, you know. So it's a very, I would say, it saves time. It is easy to do, easy to learn. Anybody can learn it, irrespective of, you know, what your educational background or your language proficiency is or where you stay. It just doesn't depend. Anybody can learn it. Anybody can do it. What else? So what are the questions now? The platform is open to any kind of questions that you may have.
Yeah, any questions, please? You can ask. Any doubts?
And no question is a stupid question. Even if I have already said it, it's okay. You can ask me again and I can tell again. It's a new thing. So just ask anything.
Hi, Vasuda. I just wanted to know, are there any other points other than these? Or these are the only points which are points
these are the main basic points. Then in different YouTubes and all, when you go, so there are also points like on the head. You can gently tap on your head, middle of the head, and gently tap. That's another point. And then you can also tap on the sides of your fingers, fingertips, you know. So, but on the outside of the fingertips. So, like here and then here. So not here, but here. Outside. So this, and then ring finger we don't tap on, and then we tap on the little finger. So thumb, then pointer finger, middle finger, and then the little finger. So these are 4 additional points, and this one, 5 additional points you can add.
Okay. Does it medically affect anyone who has an ailment related to some organ in their body?
Medically affect means will it harm?
Will it harm?
No, it won't harm. It does not have any side effects. So it won't harm. What may happen is, like I said, sometimes the pain and the discomfort may increase for some time. So that you have to see, and the person who's suffering that physical ailment has to see that are they comfortable. Like you know, like I take homeopathy, and in homeopathy also there's a and sometimes in naturopathy also there is this principle that sometimes before clearing out, your symptoms will aggravate. So obviously when the symptoms aggravate, then the discomfort and the pain, it seems like it is harmful and it is harming you. But if you can comfortably go through that discomfort and pain, then it will go away and subside over time. But of course, this is like, it works for sure, but it's not like अभी हमने 3 rounds किए और उसमें भी मैं आधे टाइम पॉइंट समझा रही थी और वो, तो ऐसे करके हम अगर बोले कि यार मेरा तो सर दर्द 10 था और सिर्फ 8 ही आया या 9 ही हुआ, कुछ तो फर्क नहीं पड़ा, एंड देन वी डिसमिस इट, then it's not really giving it a fair chance. I would say giving it a fair chance to see whether it works for you or not, whether you relate to it or not, whether this is the thing for you or not, is to take one issue and work on the same issue or the same memory or the same emotion at least for a week, for at least 20 minutes every day, and follow the proper steps, and then note down. And sometimes, we forget. So note down, I started with 10, now I'm at 7. Second day, I started with 10, and then I ended at 4. Next day, I started at 8 instead of 10, and I ended at 3. Like that, make a note, and after a week, you will see whether there's an improvement or not, and no change at all or whatever.
Correct. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other question?
So I had a doubt. Hi,
Yeah.
Kiran here.
Abaji. Oh, okay.
Yeah, like I'm seeing on YouTube, but I couldn't ask the question over there, so I'm just using
Yes,
the
yes.
other one.
Please ask.
Yeah, so my question was that is it necessary to say things in this specific order, or is it like a rule that we have to speak these words only, the ones that you said, or can it be? Is it flexible?
Yeah, no, it's just that the way there is a logic to it. When you do a very intense, deep course, they explain the logic and all that. But you always start with the setup statement, which is even though. Because you are saying, you're acknowledging that even
Yes.
though all of this is happening, I still completely and deeply love and accept myself. What you can be flexible with, I would say, is that some people are not comfortable saying, I love and accept myself. So you can say, I'm okay, or it's okay.
Okay.
If like some men, older men who feel like, what is this, all those nonsense, I love and accept myself, I can't say, it's very weird and mushy, then you can say, I'm okay. Or some child also, sometimes I've seen teenagers don't like saying I love and accept, or they hate themselves, and their main thing is, I hate myself, I think I'm a horrible person. Then they don't make sense of I love and accept myself. So in that way, you can say, it is okay, I'm okay.
So it is important to understand your limiting belief or your physical or emotional
Not
issue
understand, I would say, just
before we start off, right?
recognize,
recognize
it.
it.
Just, you don't have to understand it, but you can
recognize
just acknowledge that, okay, this is my pain, or this is my emotion. Like, my children are not listening to me. What is it I'm feeling? Okay, I'm feeling tired. Or another mother will say, I'm feeling very misunderstood. Or one mother would say, I feel like a failure. Another mother would say, I feel really frustrated. And one mother said, I hate this situation, that I don't get any support and nobody listens to me, and I just want to run away from the house and not care about anybody. On different days, you feel differently about your children and your situation. So you go with what you are feeling in that moment and be as honest as you can with yourself, because nobody's around you. You just be honest with yourself. The more
and we can
the
also
more you
say
tune into yourself and the more honest and authentic you are, the deeper the results will be.
And also these can be said like to yourself also. Does it have to be loudly, said loudly, or you can just say it in your mind also?
I have always found, because I've been practicing this for 10 years, I've always found saying it aloud much more deeper and faster results it shows. But for some reason, there are people around, and let not that be the reason not to say. So then you can say it in your mind, or you can whisper it, or you can say it in your mind also.
Okay, thank you so
much. But it's important to also tap. Some people, when they start
yes.
talking and they don't tap, and some people only tap and then they don't talk, and they tune out of what is it that they're feeling, because it gets too much. It's okay to take a break, have a sip of water, take deep breaths if it gets too much for you. It's okay to forget some points and just tap on some points for some time, that's okay. But for deeper, faster results, it's good to just follow all the points and tap and talk.
Correct. Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other question, any other doubt? Anything else you'd like to know?
सो वसुधा, ये तो समझ आया आपने स्टेटमेंट्स का बोला, और डिपेंड कितना जल्दी किसी को, मे बी सम पीपल विल टेक 2 days, सम कैन टेक 10 days ऑल्सो. जैसे आपने क्या बोला कि कुछ भी मुझे ऐसे लग रहा है,
हाँ.
सो स्टार्ट दिस थेरेपी फॉर माई सेल्फ फॉर 10-15 minutes. ठीक है, जितना मेरे पास टाइम है.
हाँ.
तो मुझे जब तक मैं हील नहीं होती तब तक मुझे रोज करना है, या अगर मुझे एक दिन में ऐसे लग रहा है कि नो आई एम फीलिंग वेरी काम एंड कंपोज, दैट इज ओके? ऐसा होता है क्या?
कुछ लोगों का ऐसे होता है, जैसे कि अगर उनका माइग्रेन है, उन्होंने पूरा 1 घंटा बैठ के किया और चला ही गया, तो फिर अगर आ ही नहीं रहा माइग्रेन तो छोड़ भी सकते हैं. पर ज्यादातर क्या होता है, मैंने देखा है, जैसे क्रॉनिक पेन है तो आपका 10 से 5 या 10 से 4 भी आ जाएगा, पर फिर अगले दिन कुछ ऐसी सिचुएशन होगी, कुछ होगा, क्योंकि हमारी इतनी सारी रीजंस के वजह से, इमोशनल रीजंस, मेमोरी, एक्सपीरियंसेस, डाइट, स्लीप, बतेरों रीजंस की वजह से वो एक चीज हमारी जो हुई है और हमारे बॉडी में स्टोर होके रही है. तो कभी कभी ऐसे बेटर रहता है कि अगर हम उसको 4-5 बार कम से कम एड्रेस कर लें. और पर ऐसे जबरदस्ती नहीं है, मतलब यू कैन डू इट whenever you feel the need to address it. And
और एक और था कि जैसे अभी हम लोग कंटिन्यूअसली वर्क करते हैं, ठीक है,
हाँ,
सो आई वाज जस्ट थिंकिंग कि जैसे अभी आप एवरी 2 hours के बाद बोलते हैं, कोई लोग 1 hour के बाद बोलते हैं, तो दिस कैन आल्सो बी अ रिलैक्सेशन.
it's a great relaxation too. Thanks so much, Rimple, for bringing
थैंक्स
that up.
बोलने का.
It's an amazing relaxation technique, because every 2 hours when you're tired, you can just say, even though I'm really tired and I still have so much work to do, I still completely and deeply love and accept myself. All this tiredness, all this exhaustion, all this tiredness, all this stress, all this exhaustion, all this stress, all this exhaustion, all this stress, I still so even though I have all this exhaustion and all this tiredness and I have so much to do still, I still completely and deeply love and accept myself. And then take 3 deep breaths and then have water, and you'll see that, your whole body, your brain is a little calmer, relaxed. And that's what I said also. If a lot of people they can't sleep immediately, and they have disturbed sleep, or they keep getting up at night, or they keep shifting at night, and it's not very sound. So if you, I mean, I told somebody and they tried it. I can sleep anytime, anywhere, so I have no sleep issues. But somebody tried it, and they, 10 minutes before sleeping, they would just tap and say, even though I'm unable to sleep, even though I have disturbed sleep, I love and accept myself, and did that. And then after a week, they didn't need to tap, and they just slept well. So you can try it for anything at all. There is nothing you can't try it for, and because there's no side effect, there is no harm that it can cause. At the most, you will not see a result. That's the only thing that can happen.
That also, if we are doing 100% with attention and faith, definitely will result.
I would say you don't even need faith, for this. You don't need faith. You just need to sit with the issue and honestly say ki, I'm going to work with it. You don't need faith, because a lot of cynical people have also seen a lot of results. क्योंकि ये सब बकवास है, सबसे कुछ क्या होता है, क्या है स्टूपिड सा, ऐसे बंदर की तरह तो हमें नचा रहे हो करके लोग मजाक भी उड़ाते हैं, और उसके बाद उनका जब चले जाता है कि ना, ये तो सच में चला गया, ये तो सच में काम करता है, so you don't have to start with faith. Faith comes when you do it, and then जैसे कैसे होता है ना, हम भगवान, जब कितने लोगों को भगवान में विश्वास नहीं होता, फिर जब जाते हैं, सरेंडर कर माने जाते हैं, और फिर सडनली उनको अच्छा लगने लगता है और चीजें चेंज होती हैं, लाइक, ओ माय गॉड, व्हाट वाज आई थिंकिंग, देयर इज सम एनर्जी, देयर इज सम.
Any other questions, please, you can ask. Rest, I have to take a feedback also from everyone. Any questions, raise your hand or put it in the chat box, please. Okay. So if any question arise, we can take it in between.
Yeah.
I would like to take a feedback from everyone. So I'll start with Buaji first. So Buaji, I would like you to
But it's like, mujhe, why you're putting me in a spot?
Vasuda, it was very good, very good. You took me back to my 22 years back.
Thank you so much. Thank
Took me
you.
back to my 22 because something very, very strong technique which I've been using was called the EMF,
Okay.
electric magnetic field,
Okay.
where we are curing the diseases and having broken bones joint.
Wow.
It was used to be a session of 1 hour, 15 minutes.
Hmm.
It was a universal where I sent it down to Singapore for a person who was in coma. So maybe this is a little lighter. That was very strong what we are taking, but you've taken me back to my 22 years.
Wow.
Yes, it does work. 100% it works.
Yeah. Even this, actually, I would
Thank
want
you.
to
Thank you
say
very
that
much,
this,
Bacha.
even though, thank you so much, Baji, for attending, and really your feedback means a lot. I wanted to say that, I am here teaching it as a self-help tool. Keep 20 minute, 15 minute, 10 minute, kisi issue ke saath, but it is also used for very deep, like she's saying, for chronic illnesses and everything. But that's like you have to work with a therapist who is experienced and who's done certified person, and you do like a 1 hour, 1.5 hour session. So when I work with clients, my session is minimum 1 hour, and sometimes it goes up to 1.5 hours. And then because it takes time to go deep into things, and एक बार कैसे होता है ना, एक परत खोलो फिर दूसरी खुलती है फिर तीसरी खुलती है, and then you revisit and talk, and then very like a deep, it's a energy healing modality. It works at the energy level. We're also working at the emotional level, mental level, because we are also working with our limiting beliefs and thoughts and what we are storing in our heart. And so it's like, I would say, a very holistic kind of a powerful but simple technique.
very true. Yes, Sheetal, I would like to add.
Sure. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, Vasuda. I think I would call this session as my manifestation because I heard of this technique, some years back, and I was wondering if somebody could teach me something of this type. And I did not have any information, so I thought probably someday I would get in some information and go for some levels of these techniques. So thank you for that. And now I have very rich information. At least I could start seeing the results. And also, I just want to clarify one thing. Does duration of tapping matters?
It does matter. It does matter. Because the more you tap, the more you are going deeper into your emotions and your energy disruption that has happened. It's like, जैसे walk के लिए है, हम 20
Right,
मिनट
right.
जाएंगे तो एक असर होगा, और 1 घंटा रोज वॉक करेंगे तो एक असर होगा, तो वैसा है. But
Okay, okay.
this, because we are all beginners here and I'm only introducing, I said start with 10 to 20 minutes.
Correct, correct. All right, thank you.
You're so welcome. Thank you,
Yeah.
Sheetal.
Yes, Sangeeta ji. Please,
Ma'am, it was very informative. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Tapping technique I'd heard online also. I was watching one lady who practices this, and she was saying that बहुत बड़ी problems if you have, you can get it like corrected through this method. So I think it was very good. Proper technique I learned today. I've been watching her, but वो proper वो explanation नहीं देते हैं ma'am. So thank you so much. It's
Thank
wonderful.
you. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
yes, Baljeet ma'am. Please, I request everyone to on your camera so that we can click the photo also.
Yeah, it was quite informative. I was going through bad, headache and swollen eyes. So I tried. It really helped me. Thank you so
great.
much, because that is why I was not switching
Showing your
on my
face.
camera. And I was lying down. So the minute you said ki you can relieve, so I got up and did it. So it really helped me. Yeah,
Awesome.
talk to my daughter Kiran here.
Great.
Yeah, so I also always wanted to know and learn about EFT, and I've been seeing a lot of videos, but I didn't know where to start. And today, finally, I got the whole gist of it from you. So thank you so much for giving such an in-depth, information about it. And now I can start using it in my regular life.
Thank
Thank
you. Thank you, Kiran.
Thank you.
Yes, Janima.
I was able to listen to the initial part of the session. I couldn't be there because some construction was going on at my house, so I had to be there and take care of that. But I'll definitely listen to the recordings. But the initial part of the way, like how you explained the whole thing, it really made sense to me. So I'm going to listen to the session, the recordings, and I'll surely give my feedback based on that.
Thank you, Gemma. Thank you.
Yes, Ria.
Hello.
Hi, Ria.
Thank you so much for sharing so much information, which is very important. I've heard about the whole technique, like when you see on the Instagram and all, people are doing a lot of stuff, and especially when you're in this profession, you end up attracting things like that. I never tried it for myself, and today when I did, it just felt okay. I can work more on it. For me, that pain was around, I scored it as 6, it came to 5. So I thought maybe regular practice can help. And I think it's more about giving yourself that positive affirmation that things will work. And I think that's how I link the whole session with. So I think that's very sensible for me. So thank you so much. And I look forward to know more about it.
Thank you. Thank you. Visit those 2 websites and you will find a lot of information.
Yes, Sai.
Gary Craig, who's the founder, he is so generous and large-hearted. He has made videos and given everything possible, like a proper tutorial, free tutorial, to anybody who wants to learn it. If you're patient and curious enough to go in depth, you will get everything you ever need to know on EFT. All he requests always, he's written it also, I've seen his videos, I've spoken to him once. All he says is just give me the credit, like let people know that I did it, kind of thing. That's basic honoring and basic thing. But otherwise, he said you just teach it to tell anybody and it's there, and you please learn it. I want more and more people to learn it. And he also says, but for some very distressful things, like for example, for me, I know that even though I've been practicing it for long, I lost my father last December. And I was so affected by his death, and I was in so much pain, emotional pain. I could not, even though I tried, I could not go more than 10 minutes with it alone. So I worked with a practitioner and I said, I want to work on this. So, so what I'm trying to say is that while there are some things you can handle on your own, for some things I would suggest that you go to a therapist, because sometimes so much comes up. We don't know how much we are storing and what all we are storing, and how so many things are interlinked, because it is not kehne ko, it is my father died, I'm only working with my father's death. But then with father's death, 20 other things come, no? How your family has changed, what it means to be fatherless, and now what do you do with your mother? And there are 20 other things, and the childhood memories come up. Love for father, but anger for father also comes up. And then you're like, oh my God, how can I be angry with a father who's just died? And I was saying I love him so much. So they're sometimes it can be a very confusing and conflicting thing. So it's always nicer to have a person with whom you feel safe, and it's a non-judgmental, safe environment, and they know it. So they can hold that space and take you through. Because after a point, I would cry and I would break down after 10 minutes, then I can't continue, But it will make deeper impact and faster change and help you cope with a stressful situation when you're working with someone. So I would say that also. Both are equally important, working with yourself and working with somebody else.
Vasuda, I loved your session. I liked it a lot.
Thank
I
you.
feel as a school counselor for anxiety, anxiety in children, exam anxiety, phobia of subjects, it will help. Because I have 2-3 such children who come after week on week, okay? So the first day of the week, they cry because they don't want to come to school. So there's a lot of anxiety. So there it will help. And I think if we sit down alone and do this, it will be more effective. Now we were just trying to learn.
One-on-one. Yeah, one-on-one. No, both are equally very great. Just like working with yourself and working with a therapist, both are equally important and effective and have their own place. Individually and group. Group में क्या होता है ना? There's a group energy. So suppose we take the topic of anger. We are all working with our anger. So it's called borrowing benefits in EFT language. So we borrow benefits from each other. When I see you smiling and your thing is going from 10 to 7, I am inspired, and then I also, and the shame goes away, and I feel like, oh, 20 other people are struggling with anger or fear or guilt or hate maths. So group energy has its own effect. And sometimes for some people, one-on-one works better because you feel like nobody is there to judge me and I can say whatever I like in a safe environment. So both have their own matlab fayda and not nuksan, but their benefits. So I would suggest with children, as fun, you can just like not as a fun, but in class as a fun activity also, you can just say any subject that you hate or any subject teacher you hate, and just say, I hate my maths teacher, even though I hate my maths teacher, even though I find maths horribly horrifying. Make it exaggerated and let them take out their frustration for the subject or the teacher, because not all teachers are angels and sometimes they are very unkind and mean to our children. So let them have that thing instead of ऐसे नहीं बोलते teachers के बारे में, ऐसे नहीं सोचना चाहिए teachers के बारे में. Don't give moral lecture in that moment. I mean, for those 15 minutes, and let them say, I hate maths. I hate maths. It's like a monster and it gives me nightmares and I wish I could kill maths, but I can't. I still love and accept myself. I'm still a good kid. I'm still okay. Whatever you feel like. And that will help, So let them say what they feel about the subject instead of saying, itna to easy hai, problem kya hai, सबको समझ में आता है, तुम्हें क्यों नहीं समझ में आता? Sometimes we get into that zone कि tutor ले लो, ये कर लो, वो कर लो, but you let them acknowledge, I hate maths and maths is the most toughest, horriblest subject on earth. And now what do I do? And then slowly you will see, because I work with
in cases where people are not accepting their emotions, people are feeling guilty about, it will work in a lot of ways.
So I work with a teenager
and you really feel relaxed physically so much while doing this.
Because these points, the energy disruption is being balanced out, no? So automatically your body, the nervous system, it calms down. I worked with a teenager and she was so scared of maths and science. And I worked with her like 5-6 sessions we did. And then she wasn't in touch with me. And after 6-8 months, her mother messaged me saying that she got amazing marks in maths and science and she loves maths and science and she has no phobia of maths and science. I mean, when such things happen, I'm like, oh my God. So like, these are the thrills you get out of this work.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, Rajinder ji. Rajinder.
हाँ जी मैम, वाहिगुरु जी का खालसा वाहिगुरु जी की फतेह जी. And yes, I heard the session. Actually, मैं half session तो join किया सी, so I missed out. But anyways, जो भी question आर सुने मैं and जिन्नी की गल्ला explanation मैं सुनी, that was all really very good. I think definitely it would help me also and with my kids. So I would love to listen to the whole recordings. If you share this, I would appreciate that. And thanks to Jeevan Janch for organizing such programs. So thank you, ma'am.
Yes, thank you so much, Jeevan Janch team, Dimple, for helping me with the presentation and managing everything and making it so easy for me. Really,
we feel so blessed, to be a part of it, that we get so many things to learn through this small programs. So thank you, ma'am. Thanks.
So my dear Payal, I'm sure these teachers, counselors can use in the school. Payal, are you there? She attended the whole session. Yes, Harshit.
Yes, ma'am, I attended the whole session. Yes, Vasuda ji, it was very good session. Actually, आपने जब starting में बोला कि at the very first time when I did, so मतलब मेरे को सेम लगा, the intensity was same, but then जब second time आपने जब करवाया, when it was little bit more deeper, and जहाँ पे it was 3 times continuously we were doing, right? And the last part, जो last part में आपने बोला, to heal that talking or like some sentences, so I felt कि वो time was more effective than the first one. Maybe it was very first time that I started, so थोड़ा ये time लगा, but जो 3 बार किया उसमें I literally saw a slight change. So practicing that will definitely help, is that what I thought. But it was a very good session. Also I wanted to ask, मतलब ये deep में होगा तो you said that YouTubes and that I have to see, right?
YouTube and even these 2 websites that I have given, you can do.
Okay.
And I'm also a EFT practitioner. So if anybody wants sessions, I do online sessions. So you can also approach me and I can do
Great.
online sessions with you.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, Harsimrat.
ਹੈਲੋ, ਸਤਿ ਸ਼੍ਰੀ ਅਕਾਲ ਮੈਮ। ਮੈਂ ਲਾਸਟ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੀ ਜੁਆਇਨ ਕੀਤਾ ਮੈਮ, ਤੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਕੁਐਸਚਨ ਆਨਸਰਸ ਸੁਣੇ ਨੇ ਉਹਦੇ ਬਿਹਾਫ ਤੇ ਹੀ ਮੈਂ ਇਹ ਕਹਾਂਗੀ ਕਿ ਅੱਛਾ ਸੈਸ਼ਨ ਸੀ, ਤੇ ਬਾਕੀ ਮੈਂ PDF ਔਰ ਜੋ YouTube ਤੇ ਸੈਸ਼ਨ ਅਪਲੋਡ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਸੁਣ ਕੇ ਅਕੋਰਡਿੰਗਲੀ ਫੀਡਬੈਕ ਦੇਵਾਂਗੀ।
ठीक है, so finally I would like to acknowledge Vasuda and really say thanks from entire Jeevanjat team, and we are so blessed. And I was thinking ki EFT tapping, because I'm doing third or fourth time with you, but little, but to, like full concentration when I was listening. So I think EFT tapping can eliminate the dysfunctional beliefs that prevent us from developing our intuition. So I'm sure ki because I'm feeling so like good. मतलब मैं अपने आप को प्रॉमिस करी थी और वही करूंगी कि जो ब्रेक्स लेनी चाहिए, because continuously we are working entire day and we get tired because we are human, right? So mentally also, physically also. So I was just thinking I would like to start at least once in a day, because I don't want to say I want to start 10 times after every 2 hours. So I want to start with a very practical level that I promised myself once in a day, because everybody get tired, everybody gets some triggers and trauma. So let's start it. 10 minutes, slowly and gradually. When you get results, you can increase your time. You can increase number of times in a day also, so that definitely we can balance our emotions. So this is my feedback, and really, really thanks to you. So कि ऐसे session आपने लिया जीवन जांच में, and I'm sure our team is ready. And head बुआ जी can definitely think कि जो हमारे sessions चलते रहते हैं, उसमें भी कभी बुआ जी को लगेगा कि हमारी पूरी जीवन जांच ऑडियंस के लिए कभी ऐसा कराया जाए, तो शायद किसी एक दो को भी फायदा हो जाए तो बहुत अच्छी बात है. And we are also blessed कि Vasuda is coming in the month of March with a child sexual abuse. She is very good in this. She has taken many sessions on this. So आपने counselors ने तो देखा ही होगा group में. So she said, Rimple ma'am, I would like to take this session with the entire audience of Jeevan Jaj. And later on, definitely मुझे schools में भी है कि जितना Vasuda is always ready with us, कि हम जितना schools में भी ये चीज को education दे पाए. So thanks once again. Yes, Buaji. Please end the session, Buaji.
So thanks a lot, Vasuda.
Thank you.
Excellent. Very good.
Thank you so much.
So I think we should come in more of it. Because these are sessions now which we do not give out.
Yeah.
And it is very nice that you come onto this JJ platform and given it to us. So I will like more of the JJ people to be there.
Sure.
They are missing this opportunity. So Rimple, see to it that the people come more. At least our Jeevan Jaj, the TV should be there. Missing out this opportunity. Yes, I know it's
and
a
we can
holiday,
share the
but
recording,
everyone
I
can
guess.
put out one.
Yeah.
See, I tell you, Rimple, where there is a will, there is always a way. And now Zoom is so comfortable for us. Wherever you're sitting, you can just put in a mobile and see.
So
I think we should encourage more.
जैसे शीतल ने बोला मेरी भूख थी.
हाँ जी.
मैं कि जैसे शीतल ने बोला मेरी भूख थी, भूख के ऊपर होता ना किसको कैसे चाहिए, सुने मुझे करना है, वो जज्बा. So surely we will definitely try जीवन जांच again. बॉजी हम जब
Actually,
next time पूरे ऑडियंस के लिए कराएंगे ना, तो definitely they again join.
और नहीं तो ये वाला भी वीडियो आप ऑडियंस के लिए नहीं कर सकते,
नहीं कर सकते, it's a public. मैंने YouTube किया ना.
हाँ
I'll share in all my groups so that ये लोग करें, मेरी टीम देखे और जितना बेनिफिट ले सकते हैं ले लो.
थैंक यू एवरीबॉडी.